Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Welcome to This Week in Prophecy. We got some earthquakes in Japan and Alaska, and the peace president, Trump, interjecting in Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. So we're going to start with, and Jesus said there would be quakes in various places, context, all of it, discourse, discussion, what the conditions would be like prior to his return to this planet. And for those of you who are new to the post and the blog, welcome aboard. And we cover earthquakes only of 7.0 or greater. And we had 2 this week. Tsunami warnings issued for northern Japan. Earthquake upgraded. You know it's a big deal when the experts upgrade it. Started out in the mid-6s. I saw in some places right around 7. And upgraded to 7.6. It was in the northeastern area of Japan, off the coast, right out in here somewhere, is where this took place, December 8, 2025. The Japan Meteorological Agency pinpointed the epicenter 80 kilometers east of Aomori Prefecture in the Pacific Ocean at a depth of about 50 kilometers, striking at 11:15 p.m. local time. How'd you like to be laying in bed and that hit you? Tsunami warnings prompted 90,000 people to evacuate coastal areas in Aomori, Iwate, and Hokkaido. Apologies to the Japanese pronunciation. Waves stayed small at about 70 centimeters max. So what's that? A couple feet maybe? With all alerts lifted by morning. Minor injuries affected 23 people, mostly from falls. Alongside cracked roads, brief fires, and power outages, Japan's strong building codes and quick response kept damage low, and that's per Grok AI. Also, 3 days ago now, 7.0 earthquake rattles Alaska Yukon border on December 6. Now this now they've been upgraded to 7.1. Wow, the experts have upgraded twice this week. They really don't like to do that. They usually downgrade. So I don't know what's going on there. But they upgraded 2 of them. This is actually kind of close to the Yukon, British Columbia border and the Alaskan border where this took place. Earthquake struck 60 miles north of Yakutat, Alaska, at a shallow 10-kilometer depth along the Fairweather Fault System. Shaking lasted up to a minute, strong enough near the epicenter to knock items off shelves, but the remote location meant no injuries or major damage. Aftershocks continued into December 7, with nearly 180 magnitude 3 or greater recorded. Officials confirmed no tsunami risk. Alaska's rugged terrain makes such events common, and experts urge ongoing preparedness. And again, that's per Grok. So this was yesterday. Earthquakes that happen. This is crazy. 7.6 again in Japan, 5.8 aftershock again in Alaska, 5.3 Taiwan, 5.2 Russia, 5.1 Turkey, 4.9 Peru, 4.7 Democratic Republic of Congo. All in a day's work on planet Earth. And again, the number of 7.0s is slowly but surely ratcheting up. I mean, these 5s and 6s are commonplace now. Remember when that was a big deal? Not anymore. And the frequency of earthquakes it's hockey sticking. It's going straight up. Is what it is. Jesus said it was going to happen. We're watching it happen. And it's going to continue to happen. Because, I mean, we get into Revelation, into the tribulation. And earthquakes mark the end of like the scrolls and the trumpets, the bells and the bowls, and the of the 7, 3 7-year or the 3 7 part breakdowns. An earthquake marks the end of each one of those. And with that, each earthquake increases in size to the biggest ever recorded at the tail end of Revelation. So at the end of near the end of the bowl judgments. So earthquakes are going to increase. They're not going to back off. It's like birth pangs. Stronger, more intense, closer together. So first, Thessalonians 5, verse 3, while people are saying peace and safety, or peace and security, peace and safety, depending on your translation, destruction will come upon them suddenly, like labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. Again, we're talking about birth pangs, things becoming more intense, closer together prior to the birth of a new age. And this is from President Trump. His comments are from the Republican National Committee, the President of Peace. And I know I sound like I'm just pounding this stuff over and over, but he doesn't give it a break. I mean, he toots his horn that way. Others call him the Peace President. And the other day, well, today, it says the other day. When would have this been? December 4th, actually a few days ago, 5 days ago. President Trump participated in a historic signing ceremony with the presidents of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, bringing an end to one of the world's longest-running conflicts after more than 30 years. President Trump also announced that the U.S. signed bilateral agreements between the Congo and Rwanda that will expand American access to critical minerals and open the door to new economic opportunities for U.S. workers and industries. So, now for those of you who want to listen to what he has to say, click on the link. You can listen to it, listen to his comments. From Africa, we're going to go to Abu Dhabi, to Haifa, the Peace Railway, taking concrete shape and largely under the public's radar. Yep, that's pretty accurate. Here is the actual tweet. Israeli media reports large parts of the rail connection, UAE to Saudi Arabia to Jordan, Israel, are already finished or under construction. Etihad Rail in the Emirates is ready for operation. Jordan is planning 200 to 300 kilometers of new line. Saudi Arabia is cooperative. And the target, India, Middle East, Europe corridor, a direct freight route from Indian ports to Haifa and on to Europe as a Western alternative to the Chinese New Silk Road. At the end of November 2025, Israel's transport minister, Regev, traveled to Abu Dhabi to coordinate the final details. Freight traffic is scheduled to start in 2026 or 2027, somewhere in there. And so what sounded utopian 2 years ago is becoming reality. A continuous land bridge between the Gulf states and Israel against the resistance of Tehran and Beijing. So here's where the rail from the UAE across the Saudi Peninsula through Jordan on into Israel, and then from Bahrain across the Saudi Arabian Peninsula into Jordan on into Israel. So a new era for Abraham Accords high-speed train linking Israel and UAE takes shape. So they're looking to transport people as well as goods and products. So this was fascinating. Israel has removed the picture of Syrian President al-Shara from its famous Abraham Accord sign in Tel Aviv and replaced it with a photo of the president of Indonesia. There he is instead of al-Sharar, al-Jalani. Let's not forget who he was. He is ISIS. Don't forget it. Trying to gaslight us and tell us he's not. Let's change his name. Let's get him out of the fatigues. Put him in a suit, trim his beard, pull his hair back, make him look all Western so we'll tolerate it. That's how they roll. More details on the Peace Railway project. We covered that. This was started back in Trump 1.0 in 2018 and has evolved into a key component of the broader IMEC corridor, creating an efficient trade route linking Asia, Middle East, and Europe. Not only transport goods, but also include communications cables, energy pipelines, and transmission lines, positioning it as a strategic alternative, again, to China's Belt and Road Initiative. Starting point in the UAE path, traverse the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan. End point, Haifa port in Israel, so that'd be northern Israel. And there things could be shipped onward to Europe and the United States. High-speed rail for faster transit, existing infrastructure and parts of the route already supporting the project. The full corridor is estimated to reduce shipping times significantly compared to traditional Suez Canal routes. And this also bypasses these little pirates and all of the Iranian proxies. Of course, now they got snuffed out pretty good, within the year when they were hit by the United States. But still, the Red Sea has its issues trying to go through there to get up through the Suez Canal in Egypt. This setup, well, there it is. I guess if I'd kept reading, we would have covered the same stuff. Setup bypasses maritime choke points and enhances economic ties between Gulf states and Israel, potentially boosting trade volumes while fostering regional stability through infrastructure cooperation. And so this is the current status. It's now in the advanced stage, they say. Despite regional tensions, construction and planning proceeded covertly during the war with significant portion of the rail infrastructure already in place. Late November 2025, Israeli Transport Minister Miri Regev led a secretive delegation to Abu Dhabi for high-level talks, using the Dubai Air Show as partial cover. These discussions focused on technical coordination and reviving momentum, countering attempts by France and Turkey, gotta love the French, to reroute the line through Syria and Lebanon, bypassing Israel. It's like, go away, Macron. Post-ceasefire in Gaza, acceleration has been reported, with Israel media confirming that preparations are entering the implementation phase. Trade between Israel and the UAE reportedly grew to over $237 million in 2024 amid the conflict, underscoring economic priorities. So as these things develop and continue to expand, it really makes sense in the context of Ezekiel 38 and 39 when Russia and friends want to come invade Israel for economic purposes. Once these things are up and running, you're going to have expanded trade throughout the Middle East and across the Arabian Peninsula. You're going to have expansion of the natural gas fields out in the Mediterranean off Israeli waters. Israel's got it going on. There's a lot going on there economically. Context goes back to 18. U.S. efforts to promote peace through economic integration following the Abraham Accords. That was done by Trump in his first term. Early announcements like Israeli Foreign Minister Katz's 2020 visit to Abu Dhabi highlighted plans to link Gulf states to Haifa via Jordan. Gained renewed focus in 23 with the IMEC announcement at the G20 summit. Biden did play a role in that, so let's give him a little credit, or the Biden administration, we'll say. Somebody did it. Strategic and economic implications, again, trade boost, which we talked about. Regional logistics, enabling quicker India-Europe shipments and integrating Israel as a central hub. Geopolitical role, promotes normalization between Israel and Arab states, but draws criticism for advancing amid humanitarian concerns in Gaza, with some outlets labeling it a tool to bypass Arab boycotts. Challenges include potential rerouting threats from rival powers and security risks in the region could impact timelines, though supporters emphasize its role in long-term stability. So there's your latest on that. That popped up. I didn't know how far this had come along. I was a little surprised that it had advanced that much. I know there's even some discussion about bringing some things up all through the Red Sea, one of the fingers of the Red Sea at I think it'd be Aqaba, if I'm not mistaken. So they're talking about doing some things there as well. So keep an eye on that. And that's pretty much where we are for this week. So I appreciate you guys following along. Please feel free to share with others, comment accordingly. Appreciate your time. Have a good one. Bye.